So we covered overall best summer deals. We also covered the RPG deals, and we covered sandbox deals and sci-fi deals. And today we're gonna be covering another category, which is the multiplayer games deal. So this will be the games that have either cooperative or competitive multiplayers. Basically, the games where you can go through the game with your friends or to play against your friends. So we're gonna be covering them both. And as always, I'm not gonna be wasting your time, and I'm gonna be giving you the answer right away which games we're gonna be covering. Yes, you are seeing it right now on your screen. These are the games that we are going to be covering with their prices, with their base prices, and with their deal prices. And as you can see, some games are overlapping with our other lists. So yep, I just know that. And weirdly enough, this will be the first list where I actually have covered all of the games in this list, and you can see all the reviews in the description down below. And if that's all that you wanted to get from this video, well, thank you for coming by, and I hope to see you in the other videos. But if you want to know more, yep, stick around, and we're gonna be covering each and every single one of those games in this list. And yep, without further ado, let's just get it started. And the first game in our list will be Valheim. Valheim is right now on sale for the price of $7.34 for tier 2 countries and $13.99 for tier 1 countries. And this is an amazing game to play with your friend. This is not a competitive multiplayer, this is a cooperative multiplayer, and you are surviving with your friends. And if Valheim is an amazing game, even if you're playing it alone, the game is like 10 to 100 times much better than with your friends. And you can play with multiple friends and spend the time or hunting the bosses or hunting the monsters, getting the loot, or even building entire cities if you want to do with this game. So overall, amazing deal, amazing game. Yes, it's not getting a lot of updates, but yep, if you are watching this deal, you most likely do not have this game yet, and this will be an amazing first time experience for you, especially if you're gonna play it with your friends. So yep, get Valheim. Next in our list is Space Engineers, and we had it in multiple different lists. And yep, this is another game which is a survival game, kind of like crafting survival game that you can play with your friends. And again, if this game is good, and I would say pretty great if you're playing it alone, it's fantastic and amazing if you're playing it with your friends. It's much more easier and much more fun experience. And you can get this game for the deal price of $13.99 for both tier 1 and tier 2 countries. So it's an insanely good deal if you're playing with your friends. Again, this is a cooperative multiplayer, it's not a competitive, even though you can actually play against with your friends as well if you decide to do so and just set up a different factions. And yeah, it's actually pretty fun there as well. Next is Star Wars Battlefront 2. Unfortunately abandoned the game by EA, but it's still nonetheless very great multiplayer game. And if I played any of the Battlefront games in the past, yes, that's basically it. It's a multiplayer shooter in a Star Wars universe. And as you can see, this game is actually very far from dead. 1,500 people are actually playing this on a Monday morning in Europe. And yeah, that's basically an indicator that the game is actually not that up to 3 to even 5,000 players are there constantly in their peak hours. So it's quite alive. And because EA actually abandoned all the support, everything in the game that was in a DLC, everything is available for free for everyone. So yeah, there is no microtransaction and there are no BS like that. You just sit down and play whatever you want in this game, and it's an insanely good value. And you can get this game for $15.99 for both tier 1 and tier 2 countries. Yes, it is not the lowest price ever, but yeah, it's not that often that we were getting a lowest price. It was only twice, as you can see, like in December 2021 and in March 2022, and it's pretty rare to get it on that low price. And yeah, it's 80% usually, but yeah, even though that price $15.99 is actually a pretty good deal. But yeah, if you want for a lower price, yep, I would suggest you to wait for it. But even for this price, it's actually a pretty amazing deal. It does have a campaign as well in single player, but yeah, this is not what we're covering right now. It's not an amazing campaign nonetheless. Still, multiplayer is a fantastic experience. And another thing with this deal is if you do have a Game Pass, yeah, the game is available for free on a Game Pass as well. So yeah, just know that. So next is Snowrunner. Yep, did you know that Snowrunner actually has a multiplayer as well? You can actually play cooperatively in an open world with your friends. You can have a multiplayer of up to 4 different people, and you can just help each other with the missions. And it's insanely good and fun experience. I'm playing this game with my friend, and it's insanely good, and I'm having a blast playing this game with my friend. The game is available for $13.79 for tier 2 countries and $17.99 for tier 1 countries. Game is also available on Game Pass, so if you have a Game Pass, yeah, you can get it there as well. But if you want this game on Steam, it's an amazing deal, especially if you're gonna play it with your friends. Next multiplayer deal is No Man's Sky. Yep, you probably knew that No Man's Sky had a multiplayer, but it's actually pretty great experience to explore the world with your friends. And more friends you have there to play with, it's the better experience. And yep, it's basically everything that you do in No Man's Sky but better because it's with your friends. Game is available on Steam for the price of $17.49 on this summer sale deal and $29.99 for the tier 2 countries. Yep, it's a bit expensive, but especially if you're gonna play it with a friend, it's an amazing deal. And this price is worth it just because of its constant update alone. And yeah, with the friends, this price is far more justifiable. Next is Euro Truck Simulator 2, and yep, bear with here with me. The game does have multiplayer. You can actually play in a convoy with other players as well, and it's actually pretty fun to drive around Europe and deliver goods when you are not alone, and especially if you have a communicating with each other. And because the game is extremely relaxing, it's an amazing experience to just have someone to chat with, to discuss the situation on the road, to discuss the game. It's extremely great. But the game has also a multiplayer mod as well, where you're playing with hundreds of different players all at the same map, and that means that a lot of trucks that you see on the road that are actually other players, and it's actually a very amazing experience. And for $2.99 for tier 2 countries and $4.99 for tier 1 countries, yeah, it's just absolutely worth it. Even if you're not gonna play with your friends and just play alone in a multiplayer, yep, it's still worth it. It's an amazing experience. Yep, go and get it, especially for this price. Next is Borderlands 3, and to be fair, I'm including Borderlands 3 because I have reviewed this game, but you can do the same thing with the Borderlands 2 as well, because on both games you do have a cooperative multiplayer available, and you also have a split screen multiplayer available there as well. I'm not sure if it's on Steam. I'm not sure because I have not played a split screen multiplayer on a PC. I played it on the console, and there is a split screen multiplayer, but on a PC, I'm not sure. Just don't quote me. I didn't check it. But you can play an entire game with up to 4 friends, and which is great. You're gonna have an insane blast, and probably the best memories that you're gonna have from the Borderlands will be by playing with your friends. Yes, Borderlands 3 is available for the price of $7.49 for tier 2 countries and $14.99 for tier 1 countries. And yes, it's a pretty good deal, even though it's not the deepest deal, because we did have a deeper deal in February during a new Lunar New Year sale. But yeah, it's pretty a good deal nonetheless, especially if you're gonna play it with your friends. And this is just a base game, and Borderlands 2 will probably Borderlands 2 is actually available for probably much lower price than that. So if you want something cheaper, you can go and get this, but you can go and get that. But Borderlands 3 is also an amazing deal for those prices. Next is Hunt Showdown, an extremely underrated by majority of the Battle Royale players. Well, Battle Royale. This is the PvPvE multiplayer game where you can play with your friends in a squad to go and take down the specific bosses on the map, the PvE bosses, and the other players are actually trying to do the same thing as well. And well, this is basically a game of survival with an incredibly fast reaction times and with incredibly low times to kill. This game is very intense and very quick and very it's very again intense. It's pretty amazing experience. It's one of the best but it's one of the best battle royale experiences that you will experience. I know I told experience way too many times, but yeah, it's basically what it is. And you can get this game for the base price, and you can get this game for the price of $10.95 for tier 2 countries and $19.99 for tier 1 countries. Yes, again, it's not the lowest price. We did have prices lower during during its own specific sale. You can get it for less than $10, but yeah, it's still very close to that price, minus 50% against minus 55. So yep, it's pretty close. You can get it right now. And yeah, if you're playing this with your friends, get it. It's incredibly enjoyable experience. Especially if you have 2 more friends with you, because you can go and play with the squads of up to 3 people, and it's insanely good experience. Go and get it. Next is The Elder Scrolls Online, and yep, that's an MMO game. It's not just a multiplayer game. It's an MMO multiplayer game. It's the massively multiplayer game, and you can play with a lot of different people in this game. Especially if you're playing different dungeons, you can go with up to 3 different people. You can have a 4 people dungeons, and you can have much more people in trials as well. And it's insanely amazing experience, and far more enjoyable experience is to go and quest with your friends, because yep, you can go questing with your friends, and this is actually incredibly great way to experience the Elder Scrolls universe. You have friends that are Elder Scrolls universe fans, yep, go and get them and go and play this game together, because you're going to just go and enjoy this game a lot with this insanely good quest. It's not the best writing ever, but some quests are incredibly amazing, and I highly suggest you to do that. And for the price of $5.99 for both tier 1 and tier 2 countries with no subscription fees required, this game is insanely amazing value. Go and get it 100%. Next is, oh boy, I could include any other Battlefield games, but I'm gonna be including Battlefield 4 because, yeah, this was by far my favorite Battlefield, and this is at the moment the only Battlefield that I actually reviewed on the channel. So this is Battlefield 4, and yeah, probably everyone knows Battlefield. It's one of the best shooter series, except for the very latest ones, but the old ones were actually amazing. You can put in this we can put in this list any game after Battlefield 4, before Battlefield 2042. You can have Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, or even Battlefield 5. So they are both amazing experiences and amazing deals. Yes, there are actually not as many people playing it right now, but it's because it's a very bad time to play right now. In the evening hours, it's pretty crowded, and you can see quite a lot of full servers, and you can enjoy it. They're right there, and full servers are 64 players, so it's incredibly amazing experience. And for the price of $9.99, it's actually incredibly amazing deal. Yes, again, it's not the cheapest deal, it's not the deepest discount that the game ever had, but let's see. Yeah, but the last time that this game had such a deep discount was in October of 2021. So you can expect maybe to have this type of deal during a Black Friday sales, maybe, but maybe the game will not be even that alive during those times. So yeah, for $9.99 you have a premium edition which includes everything, every DLC and every map. So yep, it's an incredibly amazing deal. Otherwise, you can go and get Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 5, which are far more alive, but a bit more expensive deals. Next is Astroneer. Yes, we had an Astroneer in sci-fi games list, but yep, you can include it here as well because it has a cooperative multiplayer as well, and this is a survival game as well. I know I'm including a lot of survival and crafting games here, but to be fair, I don't like a lot of them, but those ones that I show you right here, I just simply love them. And Astroneer is an amazing game for the base price, for the price of $7.24 for tier 2 countries, and for the price of $14.99 for tier 1 countries. It's an incredibly amazing deal, and you can play this game with your friends, and it's incredibly fun experience. Whatever Astroneer is, when you're playing alone, it's 10 times better when you're playing even with one friend, and I highly suggest you to get this game with your friend and play it right now. The next is, oh boy, I know that my viewers will be surprised, but it's Sea of Thieves. Yes, I'm recommending to buy a Sea of Thieves, but I'm gonna put a huge disclaimer here. Get this game only if you're gonna play it with your friends. Only then and there. If you're playing this alone, I do not recommend this game. I don't like this game I don't like this game to play alone because you don't have any progression. It's incredibly repetitive, and it's not fun to play alone. The only reason to play this alone just to, well, look around how beautiful this game is. That's basically it. And I know a lot of people are disagreeing. Oh, there's a progression and things like that. No, cosmetics is not a progression. Cosmetics is not a progression. It doesn't matter what you're saying. Cosmetics does not change your gameplay in any way, shape, or form. It does not make you better in game. It does not. Cosmetics is just a vanity metrics for yourself. That's it. Cosmetics is not a progression. But if you're playing this with your friends, now that's a completely different experience. It's extremely fun to go around the seas and hunt other players with your own crew. And because you have a larger ships, and because it requires quite a bit of cooperation with your teammates to even like steer those ships, yeah, it's actually much more fun to play it with your friends. And you can get this game for the price of $9.24 for tier 2 countries and $19.99 for tier 1 countries. And I don't think and I think it's not that often that this game is going to this low prices. I guess I was wrong. It's actually going more or less often. So yeah, this is actually as good as any time to get this game and play it with your friends. Again, I don't like this game when you're gonna play this alone. I don't like it. It's not a good game to play alone because this game is literally made to play with your friends, and I highly suggest you to do that. Next is Monster Hunter World. Yep, weird to have this game in a multiplayer, but this game does have a multiplayer. You can go on hunts with your friends, and trust me, this game is amazing and extremely good game if you're playing it alone, but it's even better if you're playing with your friends, especially on the later levels, especially on the later bosses, and even even more, especially if you are playing it with an Iceborne expansion. This right now is only the base game, but if you want to go, if you go with an Iceborne expansion, playing with your friends is even better. The game is available for $14.99 for both tier 1 and tier 2 countries, and it's exceptionally good deal. And I highly suggest you to get it. And if you already have it, then go and get an Iceborne expansion and ask your friends to get it with an Iceborne expansion as well, because yeah, this game is very, very good if you're gonna play it with your friends, because yeah, hunting the big and scary monsters with your friends is exceptionally good. It's kind of like an MMO raid, but much more fun and much more involved, and well, I guess a bit more difficult as well, and less reliant on RNG. So yeah, it's an incredibly good experience. Go and play this game with your friends. Next is Titanfall. Titanfall 2 is making kind of like a return with the No Star service right now, and yep, it's an incredibly good deal. Yes, the game was a great deal for a single player, but the game is even better deal in the multiplayer. It's incredibly fast-paced and incredibly amazing multiplayer. There is nothing like that. Yes, Apex Legends is fast-paced and it's basically the same universe, but nothing compares to Titanfall 2. Just go and watch Titanfall 2 montages and you will see what I mean by that. It's insane what people can do in this game, and the game is available for the price of $4.79 for both tier 1 and tier 2 countries. And yeah, this is probably the best multiplayer shooter deal in entirety of this list. So go and get this 100%, even if you're not gonna play the single player, even though single player is pretty great as well. And it will be in our story games list as well. Just, it's simply worth it for this price, even just for the multiplayer. Go and get it. Next is Deep Rock Galactic. It's speaking of playing with your friends, not against them. Deep Rock Galactic is incredibly fun experience if you're gonna go and play this game with your friends. You can have a squad of up to 4 people, and you can choose different classes, and they will perform differently based on the needs that the squad will have. And yes, it's an incredibly great experience to go deeper and deeper into the caverns of these procedurally generated worlds and go and fight the hordes and hordes of different bugs and just go and extract as much treasure as possible. And the game is available for the price of $4.78 for tier 2 countries and $9.89 for tier 1 countries, and it's worth every single penny for both those tiers, especially if you're gonna play with your friends. Even if you're not gonna play with your friends, you're playing with 14,000 people, and it's during the bad times. It's much better during the peak hours. Yep, go and get it. And last but not least is Outward. And yep, it's weird to have this game right here because yeah, not many people will think that there's anything multiplayer related here, but you'll be wrong. This game has a cooperative multiplayer where you play with your friends to go through the story. And trust me, this game is pretty good as alone, but it's even better if you're gonna play it with your friend. To be fair, I did not play the definitive edition of this game, but it was updated to the definitive edition on itself, and it's available for $9.99, even though the base game was on a cheaper price. But yeah, definitive edition actually contains DLCs as well. The game is available for $9.99 for tier 2 countries, and it's available for the price of $19.99 for tier 1 countries. And playing this game together, and you can even play locally on a split screen on the PC as well. Playing this game with friends is actually making this more pleasant experience, because the game is not easy. It's pretty difficult. And yep, this game is actually an amazing experience. And yeah, your reviews are actually not that great, but playing with your friend is actually a very pleasant experience. Just don't get this game on a console. Get this game on Steam, because on console this game is awful. It's bad. I regret buying this game on a console, but on a PC, yep, it's pretty amazing experience. Yep, this was the list of our multiplayer games. We included both cooperative and competitive multiplayers there as well, where you can play with or against the friends. And if you're and if I missed any of the games in this list, well, let me know in the comments down below. Maybe I missed some great games. And again, all the reviews of the games that we talked about will be in the description down below. And the next list, I'm not sure if I'm gonna upload it today or tomorrow, will be the story games list, because right now we covered the multiplayer, and after that we're gonna be covering everything that is related to the single player. And yep, this will be it for today. Thank you for being here with me. Like if you like this, subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Yep, see ya.